Imagine a man falls asleep in the year 1926. He wakes up confused in 2026, exactly 1 century later. He has 10 hours before his body simply shuts down. Scientists can now predict, almost to the minute, what kills him. It won't be a disease. It won't be violence. It will be something far stranger, information. Let's start with his morning. He steps outside and within seconds, his brain is already overwhelmed. In 1926, a person might see a few dozen new faces in an entire day, mostly people they already knew. In 1 hour walking through a modern city, he will see more strangers than he saw in an entire year back home. His brain has no evolutionary mechanism for this. It will assume, at some level, that he is surrounded by danger. Now add sound. In 1926, most days were quiet enough to hear your own heartbeat. A modern city assaults him with car horns, sirens, phone notifications, and music from every direction, all at once. Researchers estimate constant urban noise like this can elevate stress hormones for hours, even when a person isn't consciously aware of it. But sound is nothing compared to what happens next. Someone hands him a smartphone. The screen lights up, and his eyes cannot look away. In 1913, researchers estimate the average person absorbed about 50 books worth of information across their entire lifetime. By 1986, that same amount of information was arriving in a single day, the equivalent of 40 full newspapers. Today, researchers estimate the average person is exposed to something like 34 gigabytes of information in a single day. That's not a difference of degree. That's a difference of universe. And it's not just information, it's decisions. Researchers estimate a modern person makes somewhere around 35,000 decisions every single day. In 1926, most days followed the same fixed rhythm. Wake, work, eat, sleep, very few real choices at all. Our visitor is now asked to choose between 40 types of cereal in a single grocery aisle. This isn't a joke. Psychologists call it decision fatigue, and it's a real, measurable drain on the brain. By early afternoon, something in him has already started to break down, not physically, mentally. But here's the part almost nobody expects. The thing most likely to actually break him isn't the noise or the crowds or the choices. It's the light. In 1926, when the sun went down, darkness was close to absolute. Tonight he will be surrounded by artificial light for hours after sunset. Street lights, screens, storefronts, headlights. That light will suppress the hormone that tells his body it's time to rest. By midnight, his mind will still be wide awake, not because he chose to stay up, but because his biology no longer recognizes the night. This is the moment researchers believe he would actually break. Not a heart attack, not a virus, a nervous system that simply never gets permission to stop. Psychiatrists have a real name for this kind of collapse: acute sensory and cognitive overload. It's the same state soldiers sometimes entered after too many consecutive hours in high-stimulation combat environments. And here's what should genuinely unsettle you. You already live inside every condition that would break him. You've simply adapted to it, slowly, invisibly, over your entire lifetime. Your ancestors would call your ordinary Tuesday a full-blown psychological crisis. You're not built differently than the man from 1926. You were simply worn in, the way a path gets worn into grass. The overload didn't disappear. You just stopped noticing it, which raises a question no one really wants to answer. If a man from a century ago couldn't survive one day as you, what is one day as you actually costing you?